Hi there, and welcome to another exciting session of training provided by Quicksoft. In this chapter today, we are going to cover another interesting topic, which is cross validation sets, or also called cross validation combination sets. Yeah, this is a new feature which has been introduced, and we'll explain to you what is the this new feature and what are the functionality available and how you can use this functionality to meet your various business needs. Okay, so let's start. So cross-validation combination sets. This feature was released in 22D, yeah, whereas all this functionality was added in the new in the cross-validation rules, and there are no steps required to enable this feature. Yeah, this feature after 22D is always available. Most of the time, sometime when a new feature is added, you have to go and enable that before you can use that feature. But for this feature, after 22D, this is by default available to all the application which are on dispatch and hire, which every quarters they update, and by now all should be having this feature. So the difference between cross validation and combination set is that cross validation, as you all familiar, that you define by certain filter condition and then the validation, and if it fails you give the error message so that new combination cannot be created. Now combination sets, yeah, is basically allows you to define the rules by putting a set of segments, yeah, which you can define and put values against those. Yeah, later when I explain you in detail, you will understand the difference between cross validation rule and combination set. So as of now, just understand that in combination sets you have a choice to provide the segments, for example entity and product. Yeah, if you want to put some validation rule between these two, you can put those segments. Yeah, whenever you create some new rule, because cross validation still stays, it's not that this particular combination sets have replaced cross validation rule still stays as it is, whatever you have been using previously. There's no change in that feature is still, or the functionality is same, but this new combination sets have been added. So once you define cross validation rule and combination sets, so what happens whenever there is any transaction which is happening, any new combination, new chart of account combination user is trying to use, it will validate against both cross validation rule and combination sets, and if it passes through both, only then the particular combination will be allowed to be generated. So this is an add-on functionality to your existing cross validation rule functionality. Up to 5 segments can be selected in this set. Yeah, so let's say you have 10 chart of account segments. Yeah, and here we're talking about combination of segment, for example entity, cost center and product. Yeah, it could be entity, product and some other segments. So these are, in this example I told you 3 segments. Yeah, but they're saying maximum in that combination you can put 5 segment in one rule. In combination set, similar to cross validation rule, when you define cross validation rules, you can add many cross validation rule. Similarly combination, when you create a combination set, you can put in one combination 5 segment. Yeah, if you have some more variation required, you can actually define more combination sets, very similar to cross validation rules. Okay, option to choose allow, disallow for the set, whatever set you define, and once the values are given, you can say for this set allow the user to create combination for this set, or disallow. Depending upon your business need, you can choose accordingly. FBDA template is used to upload values for the set. Yeah, so there's same like when you define cross validation rule, you can type the values on the screen, or you can download the template and then you can upload that in the system. For combination sets, there's no data entry screen. Yeah, so you have to download that. Once you define the combinations which you want to use, you download the FBDA template and then you upload the values using the FBDA template. So the steps to create combination sets are: define the combination. Yeah, so you define a combination in the system, you download the FBDA template, you populate the values in the FBDA template, and same like any FBDA template, you create the zip file for upload and upload the file in the system. So these are the steps you need to perform to be able to define combination set and assign values to the combination which you're trying to create. Ability to validate a combination using manage option. Now on the cross validation screen itself, we have an option called manage, which you can use to, and then it will give you a simple pop-up screen which you can use to define, check, give a combination and see whether the combination which you're trying to give it will be validated or not. Yeah, and if so, you can be very sure that the rule which you define is accurate or not. Previously, for cross validation rule, we used to submit a report which used to run in a validate mode and whether you want to activate, inactivate, invalid combination. But for this one, manage option, it allows you to type a combination and then you can just check whether combination is processed successfully or valid or not valid as per the given rule. Now, when you have cross validation rule and combination set, now the very obvious question can come is, when should I define cross validation rule and when should I define combination set? Yeah, because both are trying to do the same thing. Yeah, so when should we do what? So that's where it's important to have clarity that when to use cross validation rule and when to use combination set. Now, as I mentioned here, when there is a pattern in the segment which can be defined using filter conditions, yeah, where possible based on the parent values, we recommend parent value as a best practice, because once you define anything at parent value, tomorrow you add more child or disable something, you don't have to make any changes in the cross validation rules. Yeah, and as I've given an example here, let's say we want to make a rule that for balance sheet account, cost center should be 000, which is an unspecified, whereas for expenses, cost center should not be 000. Now I know my balance sheet accounts are series 1, 2 and 3. I can say 1, 2 and 3, this should not be should be 000, and maybe for expenses, whatever series I have, I can put a rule at a very higher level, yeah, at a pattern level. Whereas when it comes to combination sets, yeah, I should define a combination set when there's a need to list out a detailed combination which can be allowed or disallowed. For example, I can say when entity is 1, 2, 3, product should be A, B, C. Yeah, something like that, where I'm trying to give details. Now you may ask, saying that I can do the same thing in the cross validation rule, but if you remember cross validation rule, then you have to define more rules. Yeah, once you give entity code, whatever code you say 101, and then you have to give the respective product which are valid for that you can do. Yeah, but if you have to give more entity and this combination, then you have to define a new rule. Whereas in this example, you can actually keep giving that potential valid combination or invalid combination as per your rule requirement. And then you can just prepare the list and upload under the same rule. Yeah, you will see that when I show you on the screen. Importantly, as in the cross validation rule, you can have child, you can have range, you can have lot of values there. But whereas for combination set, only child values can be used, because we are going at a detailed level to define these valid combinations. One more question may pop up to you in your mind, that if I'm going to do at such detailed level, should I define security rules? Yeah, rather than defining this combination set, why can't I define security rules? If you just focus on end result, yes, the end result can be achieved by security rule also, but as you know, security rules is not so straightforward. The definition screen is a bit more complicated, and also you have to assign roles and all those things. Yeah? So you have to be careful defining those. Whereas for this one, this is a cross validation rule which you can define very easily, and then it will apply to wherever in the application that combination is utilized. Yeah. An example could be list of specific product code which can be used for the combination of account and product. You can give a detail if required. You can also define allow rules. You can say this thing is allowed. Then you should also set not allow rules for complete the setups. Now, what does this mean? If you say these 10 are allowed, and if you say those 90 other values combinations are not allowed, if you don't define, then it's as good as there's no cross validation for those. People can use or not use. So if you want to say these are allowed, then you have to set all other which are not allowed. Otherwise, system will not do any validation unless you don't require any validation for other. Then it is fine. Okay. So now let me show you all this in action in the system. So when in the system, you search for manage cross. I want to go to cross validation rule screen. Yeah, cross validation rules. Then click on manage cross validation rules. Now in this screen, you notice a change here, rules and combination set. These are two different things. Yeah, I click on rules, and then I also have combination sets. When I want to define combination set, I'll go to combination sets. And when I want to define cross validation rule, I go to cross validation tab. Yeah, so this is something you have to be careful about what you want to do, then choose the tab accordingly. In this example, we'll go to combination sets. You choose your chart of account structure and click on search. Yeah, currently there's nothing. We'll go and define Let me also check whether there's anything defined in the cross validation rules. There are no cross validation rule also at this stage, but let's quickly just run through a brief one on the cross validation. Balance sheet CC0. Yeah. So when you're defining cross validation rule, this is what you are all very familiar with. You give condition and validation. So in this condition, I can say when a company, I can choose all these, right? Parent, child, greater than, range, and all the things I can do. Yeah. So I can say company between, I want to give a range 3777 till 3999. Yeah. And when I want to give product, let's say we also want to give a range. Yeah. So this is the rule which I'm giving. And then I can say validation, just giving basic example. Validation, we make sure cost center equals to 000. Yeah, this is how you define a cross validation rules. Yeah. And as I mentioned, we can define ranges, we can go with so many parameters here. And then let's say in this same example, I want to give a different combination for different entity code. What do I need to do? I can't choose company again. Yeah, even if I choose, it's going to give me an error. If I give company again, there is no way for me to tell the system that this particular applies only to this combination. Yeah. So that is what the problem this combination set is trying to solve. Yeah. So let's go back to combination. I just wanted to show you this example so you get an idea of cross validation rule again. Just a refresher. We don't need to save this one. I can just remove this one. Yeah. I can just give a message. I don't need to save. Yeah. Now I go back to combination sets. So I'm in a combination set screen now. As you can see, there are few options here. Same, I have to search by chart of account, which is very similar to your cross validation rules. And then there are some actions here. I'll come to action, upload, manage, validate, download combination, download unprocessed combination. I'll come to all this shortly. Let's define one combination. Now look at the screen. So as I mentioned, you can define maximum 5 segments. Yeah, if you move the cursor here, chart of account segment using cross validation combination definition. Yeah, so you choose what segment. You don't need to fill all. Yeah, 2 are mandatory. Minimum you should have 2 because at least 2 you are making combination, right? If you have only 1, what is not a combination. So now let me define a rule. I'm saying for entity 377 product restriction. Description, I'm saying allow this product. You can have draft, active, inactive, obsolete. You can change the status depending upon your business need. Yeah, I'm just making a draft at this stage. I'm saying first segment is company, and then second segment I'm saying product. Yeah, I can save this one. My rule is saved. Yeah, this is what a combination looks like. Now, same like cross validation rule where I could have defined the values, but here I have no screen to do the same. What I need to do is I have to download this combination screen to put the values which I want to do. So I click on download combination. It will give me the template which I can use to populate the values. It shows you a filter condition. If you have defined the rules previously, you can use that filter condition to download the data which you uploaded. But as we are just starting it now, we can just click on, without giving anything, click on prepare in spreadsheet. It does some processing and gives you a template. Click on download button to download a template. It will download the FBDA template which you can use to upload the values. I'll open this template. So this is a template which I'm going to populate to store the values. It has an instruction sheet. Then it shows the combination set which I'm going to populate. This is where the values need to be populated. I'll copy the name from here. Okay, name has to be exactly same. Then I give action. You can either insert or delete. Yeah, I'm inserting now. Start date, I have to give in this format. I can say, I can leave ended blank. Even start and end both can be. Now you can see your first segment in combination set is company and this is product, yeah, which I want to allow. So I will say 3777. This is my company for Singapore and this is for product, and I'm saying product 1000 is allowed, and then I need to put 2 more lines of product which I want to give. Yeah, and I'm saying this is allowed, and I'm saying these 2 products are allowed for company 3777. Yeah, and then I can save this rule. Before uploading, you should just validate. Click on validate to see whether the rules are okay. I try to click on a validate, it does not work, and I've seen this problem. That's why I'm sharing with you, just in case you face the same. This is my extended monitor screen, and somehow on this macro doesn't work, buttons don't work. But if I bring it back to my original screen, my main screen, the laptop which I'm using, then this button works. Yeah, so if you face same issue, bring this screen back to your laptop instead of extended screen, then it will work. For time being, I will just run the macro from here. Somehow this button don't work. I don't know what's the issue there, so I will just run it from here. No validation issues. Now I'm ready to save the file. I can click on generate CSV file. Again, I have to go through this process because it's not working from there. I can click on genzip, save the file in the folder. Your zip file is created, which will now upload in the system. We're back to combination set screen, so we'll go to action and say upload. I'll choose the file from the system which I saved it. This is the file which I saved in the system, and then I click on submit. It will submit a job to upload the data. Let's see the status of the job. My loading program has completed. Let me look at the log file. The log file shows 2 records have been logically read. That's fine. Now we'll go and process this. I go back to manage cross validation rule set screen again. Now at this stage, if you want to see what are the unprocessed combination, because we just loaded those in interface table, you can click on this to see those combinations. Let me click on download unprocessed combinations. Click on download to download the file. It again gives a zip file which you can open and see the what's inside. This is the output for the file. This is the set name. These are 2 combinations which are inside, and the status is new. Okay, let me close this, and now let's go back and process these records. In order to import the data, what I will do, I'll say action. I'll go to manage. I'll say validation type, cross validation combination sets, then action import or review violations. Yeah, so in this case, I'm just looking at action import, cross validation combination set. If you have many, you can do for all, or I just want to do this one at this stage. Now you have an option to do mode increment or replace. Yeah, so if you do increment, yeah, then it will update to existing record, whereas if you choose replace, it will delete the previous data for this and then load the new one. Yeah, I'll choose increment this stage and click submit. Let's see the status of the job. Okay, this is succeeded. Let's see what it has done. Let me look at the output file. Okay, successfully completed. Let me look at the log file also. Okay, all looks okay in this file as well. So now we go back to our rules again, manage cross validation rules. Now let's say before we make it active, we want to make sure the rule is working fine. We want to validate. I given this combination, and here I'm putting product. Let's say I'm putting a product which I have not given in my range, and then I'm running for this one. I'll say validate, and this is not a product which is allowed, so it failed. Yeah, so user will not be allowed to use this combination. Let's say the one I gave, I want see the one which is valid one. Now I try validate. Is pass. Yeah, so you see the effect of the rule. Another thing which you can do before you make the rule active, you want to see what are the violations. Yeah, same like the report which you used to submit previously, you can now do it from here as well. You want to check the cross validation rule or combination. I just want to do cross combination at this stage, and then I'm saying sort of import, I'm saying review violations, and then your chart of account structure, and you can do for one or for all. I have only one rule currently, and effective as of when. Then you click on submit. It also tells you the status is draft currently. Let's wait for the process to complete. Process is complete. So now let me look at the violations. I look at the text. Wow, it's a huge list of accounts which are existing but invalid as per this rule which are given, because there's a default product code, because product code is not required for most of the combination, and in my selection I've not given 0000. So now all those previous accounts which are there, if I put this rule, they all will become sort of violating the rule. Yeah, so this is something, this report helps you. If you have missed something, then you can look at this report and refine your rule accordingly. I notice, I don't know whether it is a bug or what, I notice whenever I try to export download combination, this process just hangs. It doesn't come out. This was too fast, but after that I just can't click on anything. Yeah, it just hangs. So I think at this stage, till this issue is resolved, maybe the best option is to keep your old FBDF files with you, so that you can, if required, modify and upload again. So now our rule is validated, assuming we have done the modification all as required. If you're happy, you can make this rule active, and then you can save it. Only after making the rule active, this will be available for your transaction. Let's see what the violation error message says. Okay, there is a configuration in the system that if you want to make it active in active status, then you it's mandatory that we should enable auditing for this particular combination set. So I will go to the manage audit policies and then enable the audit. So I'm in the audit policies section, manage audit policies task. Then I go to configure business objects. Then in the cross validation combination set, I enable for combination set and also for combination which they do, and then I can save this one. This is a mandatory requirement for this. So now I go back to cross validation. I try to make it active again, and then click on save. Okay, maybe I have to come out of the screen and inquire again. Let me try. Manage cross validation rules. I search for my chart. I change the status to active. Still not working. That means my audit setup is not complete. Okay, let's go back to audit again. I go back to my audit, then combination set, combination. Okay, let me see what are the fields given here. Status is already there. Combination. Okay, combination, there's not much given there, so this should be fine. Okay, I found the error. Though I have configured the business object, which was for general ledger. Yeah, the combination set was configured here. Let me look at that, where it is. So this was given, but I had forgotten to enable at this level. Auditing should be on. Yeah, that's where the issue is coming. Now if I go back to manage cross validation, I should be able to save it and activate it. Save, it should work now. So after audit is active, so this is also change status active and it's been saved. Yeah, so now this will be used whenever a new chart of account combination somebody is trying to create. The system will validate against these particular values which were given. Another point which I was mentioning earlier about allow and disallow, because let's say if I give this definition for 377, those two product code which are given for allow, if I don't put disallow definition, then all other entities will also be able to use this particular product code, because I'm not putting any disallow rules. Yes, then the whole purpose of restricting this to this one may be defeated. So you have to look at your business requirement to see if you allow for some combination, you have to look at where you should also disallow. Only then it completes a loop. Yeah, so you have to be careful on this allow and disallow part. Okay, so once you've done active, then if in future if you want to temporarily make this rule inactive, you can make it inactive. Yeah, or if you want to make this rule no longer you need this rule, then you can make it obsolete as well. Remember, when you change the status to obsolete, system deletes all the definition which is in the system, yeah, for that particular combination sets. Okay, so these are the various statuses which you can change. So in this chapter you have understood new functionality which is cross validation combination sets. Yeah, I've explained to you what are the limitations, that is can only go up to 5 segments, and then you define allow and disallow. You can choose whether you want to allow certain things or you want to disallow certain things. Yeah, so this is how you define these rules, and then this is done. The values are uploaded using FBDA template only. I've explained to you when to use cross validation rules and when to use cross validation combination sets. Yeah, most of the time, I think even if the feature is available, most of the time I believe people will be still trying to use cross validation rules, because this is very generic in nature. But where relevant, now you have a facility to define combination sets where needed. Okay. With this, we come to the end of this chapter. Thank you very much for your time and attention, and happy learning.